Hi, Chaga. I can't hear you.
So it seems like it went to mute automatically.
Good
Good morning.
morning. Yeah, I tried to turn on the camera and kernel panicked. I think they upgraded it on Friday. Did something
Okay.
wrong. Yeah.
So it's looking nice then. The move to them already.
Yeah.
Because it also for me it crashed on my computer, so I had to go to my phone. I
Very
tried to
nice.
fix it. Now I'm back on the computer. But it still crashed.
Mm.
Somehow crashes, but it works. So
Did we choose Zoom or is that an official tool from CNCF? I don't
it is official from the CNCF. It is provided by them, I think. And it's been recorded, and I think it automatically uploads
know.
this
Yeah.
to YouTube.
We should be careful then, not to say stupid things. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen without kernel panic. If I drop, you know what happened.
Okay.
1 second. See something? Share. Okay. What do you see? Nothing.
I see
Okay.
nothing.
Okay. Oh. Oh.
Now.
Okay. I thought it crashed again.
Okay, this is really, wow, it is really good quality.
It is. Okay. How do I get rid of
Yeah.
the bar there? Can I get it? Oops. Where did it go? That. Wait. I have to move it. Very nice UX. You can grab it from anywhere. Then you can move it like this. Okay, never mind. I'll put it there. Oh, it's so annoying. All right, let's see how we do that. So, it's a short week. I mean, we are all on holiday after Thursday, I guess. So we don't have to plan much. Let's just go through the done column, see if there's something urgent that we have to deal with this week, right?
Yeah.
By the way, this is a public board, but if I recall correctly, it shows for me things in private repo. So if we add something from a private repo, it will show that for me, although
Mhm.
it's not really in public. So just to warn people, if you see something that you can't see in your own version of the board, that's probably because, like this one, for example, that's an internal repo. And yeah, and we have to figure out how we deal with this. Maybe we should do planning on another not non-logged in account or something.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Something like that. So we show exactly what's in there, not internal things, especially about security stuff, because social post, I mean,
Yeah. I'm
that's
pretty sure
not.
it's not going to work easily because I won't be able to make any modifications. So I
Oh yeah.
need, like, this is a private tab,
You need two
all
monitors, right?
being read-only mode. But anyway, I think for today, probably, I see the board, but obviously I cannot move stuff.
Hmm.
Okay, well, let me go to this view, but these are some things to figure out. Hopefully we don't reveal something. Today we don't have security issues such. So, okay. So last week I spent a week, just an intro, I spent a week trying to create a setup for Capi, for the work we're doing on Capi, which is
Mhm.
this spike here. So William has a repository, this one, where he has added two providers, one the booster provider and a control plane provider for Kairos. So initially we decided to skip the infrastructure provider, hoping we can rely on an existing one, so we don't have to do everything in one go. So I played a bit with the Docker. So William used the vSphere provider. I don't have access to vSphere, so I needed something else to play with locally. I
Mhm.
tried the Docker provider, but it kind of assumes that you are setting up a cluster with Kubadden, which is not the case for Kairos. So for some reason it didn't work. So then I tried what is Incus. Incus is the pronunciation.
Yeah,
Incus.
I think
Yeah.
so. Includes.
So that also has a provider, but it seemed a little bit complex. I mean, you need to have a Incus daemon running as a service and things like that, binary. So I
Yeah.
thought, I mean, maybe it's too much for a CI setup. And then I switched over to KubeVirt, which also
Mm-hmm.
has a provider, and I stayed with that and kind of made it work up to the point where it boots a Kairos node. So you create a cluster, you say I want a control plane from Kairos using the deployed provider here, and it spins up Kairos from a raw image. But it doesn't yet work because it didn't properly reset. I think the Kairos config I'm providing is not
Mm-hmm.
setting up automatic, reset to
Yeah.
boot to the installed system. But anyway, it's progress. I see a VM. And all that resulted in a big PR, which I can probably show here. This one. So I started with a make
Yeah.
file that quickly became very ugly. I was coding with cursor, so I didn't even look what it was doing. It as long as I mean until I get it to work. Then when I made it work, I went back and looked at it, and it was a monstrosity. So I decided to do that in Go, hoping I can reuse it for a test suite. So it looks a lot cleaner in Go, but yeah, I mean it's like a little app of
Mm-hmm.
itself. So I have components that install in an idempotent way the various components like Calico, Capkey, that's the KubeVirt provider. This is to import images into KubeVirt, Cert Manager C. So one file to deal with every component, one to set up the cluster, things like that. And I think somewhere I put a command on how to use it. Uh, and that's it. So let's not make it too detailed, but that's what I was doing last week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think, Chaka, you were working on Hadron things to get it out. I think we also announced it already, right? Maybe I can.
Yeah, it was announced already. The full presentation will be on FOSDEM, I think, to explain more things and so on. Yeah, and basically I've been working on updating the dependencies. So by the time from when we started to now, there has been some bumps in all the software around and so on. So I've been updating those and trying to fix any issues that show us from that. No issues at all, I think. Just a few flags that we needed for things like
Mm-hmm.
have like new dependencies that we were not using and so on. Basically, really new features like edge
Mm-hmm.
features. Um, been working as well to update systemd to 259, which is the latest version, which was released like 3 days ago. And that has support for muscle to build with muscle out of the box, which means we drop all the patches that we were using to make it build under
Mm-hmm.
systemd. And yes, using systemd, pure systemd built from scratch. No issues with the FEI, output loaders, things like before. So it's much, much cleaner now. And the only thing, it just muscle requires a small patch for when you write to a file, disabling the buffer. The standard library says you just have to write to the file, right? Muscle did write it, but in 2 times, which confuses the kernel. So the guys at Postmarket OS, which are also behind trying to push Muscle and
Mm-hmm.
systemd, had a patch for that already. They backported it to Fedora and so on. So we just picked that up and use that. So it's just a single patch for Muscle, and that makes systemd build in a very, very clean way. No patches around for it, no patching systemd itself, just a straightforward
Nice.
build. So
Are
it's
they
very
still with it? I thought they stopped working on the system plus muscle idea, the post-market OS team.
Oh
Are they
no,
still
they're
working on
behind it, and they're fully behind it,
it?
and they even so there has been some work on System D to make it compatible. I'm not sure if the work comes from the post-market OS guys or
Mm-hmm.
not, but it seems like they are now open to support that as long as there is help with maintaining it.
Mm-hmm.
And the post-market
Have we
guys
reached out?
are sorry.
Have we reached out? Do they know what we're doing?
Yes, Mauro has checked with them
Oh,
already.
nice.
I told him that maybe we should just link with them,
Mm-hmm.
and because we have the same objective, so it makes sense to just
Mm-hmm.
get behind it. And yeah, he asked them on Saturday or Sunday, I think, and he got a response in like 5 minutes, and they have agreed to meet on FOSDEM because they're gonna be
Ah,
there.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, and presentation is also related, so would be nice.
yeah. So yeah, that's good because there is at least another team that is interested on this, and between
Mhm.
them and us, we can just push this forward. And if there is any need for maintenance, we will have it in there. We can help.
System D, if they are now supporting muscle, that means they're also, on board with this. They also like it. So
Mm,
that's very nice.
I would
No?
not say they like it, but I think there is enough asks
Mm-hmm.
behind it and work being
Okay.
done on muscle stuff to be more compatible with what
Mm-hmm.
glibc does. So they're not as against it as before because it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
require like huge changes in system D. It just requires
Mm-hmm.
some maintenance and maintenance on muscle to fix like base things. So
Okay.
yeah, this looks really good for the future.
Yeah, but by the way, the bump in System D only affects Hadron for now because I remember we had to downgrade System D in the other flavors because of
Yes.
some problem. Remember? I don't remember what it was.
Yes,
It
to
was
the
breaking
boot
trusted boot.
entries. Yeah, so between
Yeah,
uh,
the boot assessment.
257
Yeah.
minor versions, they change how the entries in FEI are ID. They
Mm-hmm.
used to ID by the name of the config plus the boot assessment, and
Mm-hmm.
they changed that. And we were relying on some, let's say, unintended consequences of that to make everything work. So yeah, for now on, the system deboot that we ship with everything is 256.
Okay.
So, but for
Which
next
doesn't affect
version,
Hadron because we don't have trusted boot in Hadron yet. So it's
well,
okay
we
to
do, we
bump
do,
there.
we have, but Aurora Bot is the one that is providing the system deboot for everything. So we have a standard thing for trusted boot that we know it works for Hadron or for other flavors. And in the future, we will change so Hadron uses its own bundle system deboot.
All right. Awesome. So let's go back to the board. Let's have a look. If something, if anybody joins, let me know. I don't even know where the window is. They, how do I? Okay, just let me know if anybody joins. Yeah, we have to
Yeah, no, nobody
introduce
has it.
people. All right. OS Builder can't build cloud images. I think. What is that? Ah, yeah, yeah,
You should
yeah.
know.
So. Yeah, I remember now. The OS Builder image, it was referring to now removed scripts. Now we use Aurora
Yes.
Boot banner directly. I made it and actually tested it because on my branch for copy, I'm using the new OS Builder image, build the raw image. So I know at
Very
least
nice.
part of it is fine and um, yeah, this is the PR. This is this is okay. It was looking for grab config in various places, producing errors. While it wasn't an error, we switched to a warning, and I think now we don't even print anything if at least it's found in
Yeah,
at least one place. So not
exactly.
even
Yeah.
a warning anymore. Yeah. The Hadron blog post. List releases once again. We had to clarify, but yeah, it was also contributed by Jasper in docs. So um, if you provide, so I mean, by default, it takes the Kairos QA repository and organization, but you can provide your own to see the images with your own repo. And generally speaking, what seems to not be so clear is that this is a very optional command.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, if you're lazy,
It's a
don't want
helper,
to,
right?
yeah. You can just go to QA and search for whatever image you want. Having the command there makes people think they have to use it or something. So when it doesn't work, it confuses people. But anyway, it was clarified once again. But yeah, if this gives us more trouble, maybe we should rethink about even having the command. I don't know. We have removed
Yeah.
the implicit upgrade anyway, so you cannot just say Kairos agent upgrade to whatever latest. You have to specify the source anyway, so just find the source yourself or something. But yeah, the calendar has changed, and now it is. Let me see. Is this a link to the? Oh, yeah, that's not the link to the calendar. Anyway, this is the link to the calendar. No, and there is no link to the calendar here. Anyway, the Linux Foundation has a place where you see project calendars. For now, I think it's the only meeting, so maybe I should go there. Oh no, that would be too obvious, right? Why? What's going on? Okay, cannot delete anything. Can I write anything? Yes. But I cannot change this here. Okay. Yeah, not this one. Okay, wasn't likely. But anyway, I can do LFX meetings, Linux Foundation. Maybe that helps. Docs, that would be too easy. Okay.
Yeah, I also can't find it.
It's in the internal Slack somewhere. Mauro sent it last week. What did I search for? Kairos. That will be an event, right? Okay, but I think maybe it's posted on the Kairos main page. We should have replaced. If we didn't, that means maybe people have joined the old Google Meet.
Hmm.
Let me see. If I go to Kairos, we go to community, and go to the
Events
calendar. Oh, it still points to the old one.
But that should show. Is that
No,
updated?
that shows this. Then, yeah, it's the Google Meet.
That's the old one.
Are people there? Maybe we should join there and see. I hope. Okay, we have to replace it. Let me actually add a story here. Replace calendar in the community page with the new link. And what is that? That's, I don't know, whatever, a bug. It's there, and then go up here.
I remember Mauro sending that, and we could see the full agenda, right? He asked, "Oh, can you guys see in the agenda
Yeah.
here?"
That's where I found it on the internal Slack by searching. Right, there it is. But I guess I can as well just join the old meeting just to make sure if anybody's there, point them here. Hopefully that will not confuse my system. Ouch. All right, I'm joined there as well.
Yes, right. LFX meetings, Kairos. Okay, that's a weird link. What is chat? Yeah. Oh, chat is not working. Yes, but the chat from Zoom is not working, so I'll just send it to you.
Send it on the public one here, maybe in the
See.
Kairos. Yeah, yeah, awesome. Copy link. So yeah, at least we can see that in the recording,
There. Yeah.
and you somehow subscribe to this thing with the icon, I guess. All right, thanks. The foundation, where were we? We're here. Add meetings to the Kairos calendar. Okay, quick start, extend, life cycle, and trusted boot. That's docs
Yes. For trusted
for
boot under Hadron and how to extend and the life
Mhm,
cycle and so on. So there are smaller pages than the ones that are on Kairos, but they kind of overlap with Kairos a bit, of course.
mhm,
But they are make like more simpler, let's say, for a really quick get up way of
mhm,
reading
mhm,
them.
mhm. Nice. Um, we got a new version of Kairos in it, which was broken because it was bringing what? New system D or what? So we
Um,
reverted that, we removed it, right?
yes, so we were testing for Hadron, I think, the 0.7.0 init with beta versions of ImuCore and Agent and so on. And somehow, I'm not sure if it was me or who was got 0.7.0 final, which was shipping beta versions. And we did not notice that it was shipping beta
It could
versions.
have
So
been me. Maybe I wanted to release something else in Kairos in it. Yeah, I think my opinion is main should always be ready to be shipped. Maybe we shouldn't merge into main if it's not uh, ready, right? We can use other branches to test things out.
yeah, I don't know. This was when we were having such a short time, to test
Yeah, yeah,
Hadron
yeah.
that it sync on it. So I think we just got some beta versions of init with beta versions of agent and so on to
Hmm.
make sure that everything worked, and it slipped.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. I'm just saying that maybe there is some fix we need urgently and others we don't need to release right now. So by having main ready to release all the time, we don't block the releases.
Mhm.
Because everybody keeps pushing their own fixes. So at some point, maybe they want a tag to use. So yeah, that's for the next time.
Yeah.
Um, Bump voice builder version, that was the bump for the above change I did. That's pumping it in the Helm charts, so you can actually get the fix.
Mhm. Nice.
And that would be an archival. Now, let's see. This is waiting for the reporter to test it. We have a release now. Let's say they're going to build an image and test it, and then they're going to close it. So let's leave it there. I'm not sure exactly what's left for this one. I'll leave it to Mauro to close it. I
I
remember.
think it
Mhm.
was just about announcing or something like that. So
Yeah, and we wanted to make it official with a template. So we created the ticket
yeah.
to create a template for maintainers. And just for future reference, we wanted to do that officially for William so people can see, the process of voting and all. So they
Yes,
don't
exactly. Yeah,
say,
the Git code and things like that. Yeah, 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 yeah.
but there was a ticket for the template, which
Yeah, it's up there at the top almost.
Mauro took it already. All right. So
Mhm.
this is in progress. Architecture for Hadron, yes,
As docs, I think.
some review. You can buy review this. Mm, okay, you already commented, then maybe I'll have a look later as well.
Yeah, there is some because Mauro has been working on
Mm,
parallel on several
mm,
files. I think there is some layout issues with that. Uh,
mm, mm,
just introduced some fixes and then he
mm,
bumped some other stuff to make it nicer and so on. So yeah.
mhm. Okay. This one, nobody checked.
Well, I did check.
Did you approve? Didn't see that.
I think I did.
Yeah, yeah, we discussed that, and then I made some fixes. Yeah, no update. I think I had to fix the CI though. something is breaking. Maybe I just have to rebase it. So yeah, the
Oh, yeah,
whole idea is
probably.
just to be able to build a standard image. But since then, we put it in the Kairos
Yeah.
repo. So
I think the part that picks the Dockerfile from the Kairos repo is a good one, and we should have that to avoid having two, you know.
yeah.
But now that it's on the Kairos repo as part of it, I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's think about it. I haven't checked exactly. I mean, I don't think it's possible to run a command in the Kairos repo now and get a Hadron image from scratch like this is supposed to do. So maybe it's still useful when
Yeah,
testing
I still
things
think
with.
that having here the standard stuff is good because so for me, I keep testing Hadron locally. I don't work through the Kairos thing because I'm using Edge stuff and changing things and so on. So I
Mhm.
need to really
Yeah,
do this. I haven't worked with the standard images yet because I've been doing only core. But yeah, it's the same as the core images. It's just very helpful
yeah,
to develop. So I think this
yeah.
should go in. I mean,
All
after all,
right.
it's just a make file, right, on Hadron.
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
affect
Okay.
anyone.
So I'll try to fix the CI, and if it's working fine, we can merge it. All right. Oh, configuration fields in docs. Who is working on that? Oh, that was Jasper. No, yeah, he
What is
somehow,
this?
yeah, he found that we have some options you can specify in the config that are not mentioned anywhere. I don't remember which one he actually needed. Maybe it was the
Hmm.
execd. He found that in code and added
Yeah.
that here, but maybe it deserves a little bit more explanation on what they
Yes,
do.
especially because there is things like squash compression and squash no compression that those are deprecated ones. We don't.
Hmm.
I mean, you should be able to override those, but we haven't tested those in so much time. UKI max entries is fully deprecated for a long time, and I think the cosine stuff or the cosine key, one of those also doesn't really work
Hmm.
or it's deprecated. So yeah, those are good, but we should just have a good look and
Yeah.
comment on that. Check
And
if they are
check
used or not.
which ones are still working. No, are actually worth documenting. Some of them, which one did you say? The
The
compression.
UKI max entries, for example, it was never used. So it was done on the first try of the boot stuff for Trusted Boot, which was terrible. Then you came and did the awesome no roll FEI and copy things and so on. So that's no longer needed. Yeah, I don't think we support the squash compression anymore because it was terrible and we did not gain any space, but it was just very slow to build. So we just disabled that for a long time now.
Okay, just put a comment there and we have to review.
But this is a good one. Yeah, we have to clean up that.
Yeah.
that.
Who moved it under review?
No, that's the pull request. No,
Yeah, but it was in progress some
but
second ago.
the other
This one. Sorry.
is
Yeah, yeah,
the card. Yeah, that's very
yeah,
confusing.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I
It is
even
approved.
commented, and I even approved. All right, it's breaking everything. How could this break anything? This is just docs.
Nah, that was just probably GitHub being broken.
Okay, let me click. Let me. Oh, oopsie, failed once. Whatever. Okay.
I don't even think that needs CPU cycles. It's adding
True, true.
a
It's just a template. But yeah,
template.
okay. Um, so we have things in progress. Hadron Fips, I saw one PR from you,
Yes.
Itzhaka. I don't think it's here, and I
No.
approved it. I'm not sure if that's all it takes. Just for
Well,
reference, I said.
Is so the idea with here is you build OpenSSL with FIPS and then set the default configuration to use only FIPS stuff. So then everything that you build that is using OpenSSL, it will just pick the FIPS part, right? So OpenSSH, for example, that needs the OpenSSL and so on. And well, I've been working on this. It's not finished yet because I'm adding like test to check that it's indeed using FIPS, and then more hardened configuration that disables things like SHA-1, which are not FIPS approved. And yeah, but it seems not that bad with our current feature set, let's say, or current software. It's kind of easy. FIPS builds very nicely on OpenSSL, and then everything that needs it just is not giving me any issues. But I just need to fully check this and boot with FIPS 1 in the kernel to see if it really works.
Don't we have a test in the end-to-end test suite in Kairos already? Maybe you just
No,
enable Hadron there? No?
no. There is no full test for FIPS yet in there.
Okay. All right, then that's in progress. The template, Mauro's working on it, which is the PR actually. Investigate capping, like I said, I'm still gonna test it because I just now have the setup. I now have to check what the provider is doing and make it spin up a control plane with Kairos. And I'll need to talk with William, so I don't know his availability this week, if he's on vacation or not,
Bad
but
week.
yeah. And I'm gone until the 7th of January, so maybe I won't be able to make much progress here. And I've already wrapped up a good big chapter of it, so maybe I won't open something big this week. But yeah,
Are
it's
you in today only? What day is today?
no,
Or
up
today and
to
tomorrow?
until and Wednesday too.
Okay. Yeah. It's only 4 on Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Hardware enabled kernel for Hadron.
Yeah, that's kind of done, right? So that it says hardware enable kernel, but it means having our testing kernel was just for virtual machines, right? Like for AWS and Kimu and so on. So we could iterate on it faster, but now we have like a default kernel. I just need to update this, to be honest. It's been so busy. We have a default kernel, which just brings support for all types of hardware. It's bigger, of course, but yeah, we built a default kernel and a virtual/cloud kernel for virtual stuff. And the second one is much bigger. It has much more modules, but it's just for real hardware. This was waiting because I wanted people to test that in their own computers just to know that it can boot or see if we're missing something and so on. I tested on my bare metal and it works. It just boots as expected. So yeah, half of this is done, I will say. I just need to update the ticket.
And what kind of hardware do we support? I guess you didn't cherry pick firmware yourself.
No.
You took some big package from somewhere.
So I ingested things like the kernel config from Fedora, Ubuntu, Debian. So I just had a
Whatever the
boring look. Yes, very boring look to see a lot of options in the kernel to see what everybody's doing, what they are supporting, which things are very niche, because there were like really niche things that I'm guessing it's for really old stuff and so on, and just reach like a middle ground in there of having.
But that's the kernel, right? So
Yeah.
Doesn't some hardware need binary files that come as packages? So it's not everything built in kernel as far as I know. For example, in Ubuntu, remember there's a huge package with with the firmware binaries, which you
Yes,
need to have. So that's separate to the kernel. Do we also
that's
include that?
separate. Yes. No, we don't include that because that's like 800 megabytes just for firmware.
Hmm.
So we are currently working on this in parallel, but the idea is we will provide that as 6x, and
Hmm.
we will provide that as much separated as we can, so you don't have to
Hmm.
blow up your images. So currently there is a script on the Hadron
Hmm.
firmware repo that just splits the firmware into like different packages, let's say, and just builds a CSX and pushes that into a repo so it can be
Hmm.
consumed easily. Uh, we still don't know if we will integrate that uh, maybe in the Aurora boot, for like a store for firmware and so on, or we will leave that to the users, or we will leave that into runtime, which you can also use, like bundles and things like that. It's still there in the air, but yeah, it's still being worked on.
Okay.
But for
All right.
most hardware, usually you don't need that much. Probably the network part is the most important thing right now for that.
For the package we were discussing, there's no ticket, is there? I didn't see any link on this one.
For the firmware stuff,
Maybe it's in the Epic. Let me check.
it may be one. I'm not sure.
I don't see any. I can put a comment here, unless
No, but I don't know.
Hadron only. Mm, okay. Is there any existing tickets for the, what do we call it? Firmware
Firmware,
bind,
yes, firmware
firm,
delivery.
sys X for Hadron, or do we need one? Let's put it there as a reminder.
No.
All right. That's gone. Okay, so some work to be done here.
Yeah.
Firmware update package to Hadron. That's maybe we want to ship it with Hadron, or is this the first opportunity for a C6, like an optional
Well,
thing?
both. So there is a pull request already in there to add firmware update, but and it worked as expected. But when building it, we found out that it needs so many dependencies that it will blow up the whole image.
Hmm.
So we were thinking about moving it to a C6, but then this
You need to put
was
the dependencies there as well, no?
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
another
yeah.
problem.
Yeah, exactly. So there is it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different dependencies, including glib, which is huge. So we are rethinking this whole thing. So you can build one with firmware update, but I think we should try to build it as a 6x and provide as a 6x. But then we hit an issue with if you have a SO file, so a shared library,
Mm.
you cannot deliver it via 6x. So do we
Mm.
build firmware update static, which will blow even more the size?
Mm.
Yeah. So
Well, that's
this was
a general problem, not just for this package, but
yes.
we are going to have various different kinds of dependencies we add. Some of them are going to be just one binary, which is
Mhm.
easy, right? You put in C6, but many will have shared libraries. So I wonder, isn't that like something that systemd with C6 should have solved? How do you add shared libraries to system extensions?
Not really. So they are they're not for that kind of like system libraries, let's say, right? They are just for like extra software. All the software that goes into user, things like that, yeah, those are covered by 6s. That's the whole point of it. Not for base things, let's say, under lib. So yeah, we can make it work for us, but so the idea
Yeah,
with
no,
this
but
was
like you
also
mean,
to
like a
provide
custom solution.
an example on how to build some software that users will find it really like useful, like firmware update to update the firmware of servers and so on. But yeah, it just went a bit out of hand with all the devs and so on. So again, something that we need to rethink. Do we want to provide it as a chipset or as a system or just an example so people can build it themselves and put a layer on top of Hadron? We don't know yet.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it's still new, so we're still figuring things out on
Yeah.
what's best. So the beta release, that's done.
Is that the Epic? I think that's the Epic,
So
right?
blog post, I think, is done. 404, I'm not sure. Blog post is done. That's another one. The CNCF one.
Yeah.
That's ours. And
The
source.
CNCF
Okay.
is scheduled, right?
Yeah, that link, which was a 404, I think today. Maybe it's not up yet. So Mauro sent something. Okay. Okay, he's working on it, so let's just leave it there. Seems work in progress. The social post one we discussed, and upgrade there is no idea. That's maybe no, from Sergeant. Has anybody commented on this?
Yeah, this was the
There we have it.
0.7.0. This is how we find out that 0.7.0 was broken or was released or
Uh,
whatever. But
so to avoid
he,
checking the logs, have you checked? Is it because of that? It's not something else we can close it, right? Because I see these are not very clear what the problem
yeah,
is. Okay, let me just ask him. So he should be using 06 what? We have a patch release?
0.6 latest, I don't know,
068.
6.8.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was also some changes in A and Atimucor for the group stuff and so on. So I'm not sure. I think we need to check those because we will need to adapt the test. And yeah, it's just too much work to do.
Yeah. All
So
right.
we've been pushing it a bit further down the way, the newer versions are fixing that stuff.
Mm. All right, that's in progress. So given it's a short week, let's fix this small thing, by the way, the calendar. Not necessarily this. I would say let's check what bugs we have. For you, Chaka, it seems you already have enough with
Oh
the
yeah.
two tickets we have open. So I don't think you need anything more. So for me, let me check on Kairos if we have anything incoming. This is the one we added. I think we have to reply to this one.
Hmm.
Mhm. I think I replied to a similar one somewhere.
Hmm.
I'll check. I think I made a similar answer for another custom build. Resilience issue when losing a node peer-to-peer. Same guy. Yeah, I think maybe it was this one. Okay, let me check. Use case, big things. Just move the token. No, I didn't apply to the actual issue, just move the token. So nobody has applied here to the actual issue, but keep in mind it's about the peer-to-peer mode.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, removing nodes and things like that. So it needs quite some testing. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah.
Should probably bring Ettore in there because I think he's the most knowledgeable about HPPN, right?
Yeah,
About the
but on the
whole
other
thing.
hand, it's not necessarily related to that. I think
No?
he's removing a node and adding another, and he wants the auto thing to work, if I recall correctly. Let me also have a look.
Yeah, I did not understand
Maybe,
like half of it.
yeah, let me actually put it to in progress so I can just reply and then maybe we'll move it back. Put it there. Just small things to make sure we reply in a timely manner. A suggestion from Jasper for a dry
Hmm.
run on upgrade, but I asked him to clarify what. So the conversation started here, I think.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to clarify exactly what it does because I mean, an upgrade would do some things, and then what exactly do you want from a dry run? His idea was that
Hmm.
it checks if the source actually exists. That's one thing, but if that's the only thing you can do a kernel, right? You don't need a dry run. Sounds like an overkill for just checking if the URL works or whatever.
Um, I'm just wondering, could you just get the same output by the Kairos config get or state get? Because that brings all the configs in the system and outputs their values, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't try to pull the image, the source image.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Of course, you
Oh,
wouldn't want to pull the image in a dry run. You would probably fetch headers or something. I think there is a way to just fetch headers and
yeah.
not get the whole file.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if I imagine that in code, it's going to be all over the place. So, on every action we do, we will have a dry run mode, which is going to do something different. And we have to make sure architecturally that they don't diverge. So, the dry run mode actually tests what the actual code would do or something. So,
Mhm.
it's a little open ended. Never done that before in Kairos Agent. So, we have to make sure the expectations are clear. We don't want another command like list releases, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let's just drop the releases and say we never supported it.
Yeah, yeah. And this is yet another one. I mean, people are going to
I'm
start using it and we won't even know what it does. So,
I'm not even sure how will the dry run will work because I think there are some things in the system that are dependent on like real actions. Like for example, the event sizes, they do default to something, yeah, but if you can't calculate those properly, in which a dry run
mm,
you may not, it will just give you a random. Or things like the temporal deals for the transition, we try first to do temp if there is an space, I think, then we try persistent, then we try state or something like that. So that really depends on
yeah.
sizes, if they are mounted, if you can write into them, and yeah, maybe
But
no. I was gonna say
but what
maybe
is
we can do a
expected? Yeah.
summary or something like that, that tries to infer as much possible information about what will be done and what things will be used. Like it will be this image, it will be these sizes, and it will do this. But yeah,
Yeah, the level of trust you put to the dry run is going to
yeah,
vary depending on what we check. Like you said,
exactly,
you can
yeah,
actually fetch the image, find the actual size, and check that the disk won't fit it. That would be better than just saying, "Oh, I found an image; it's gonna work probably, right?" Uh,
yeah.
okay, I mean, if you can comment on the ticket just to gather all the thoughts, would be nice. Yeah, I'm not sure it's a priority though. So. Fixed boot assessment, boot entry selection. You key that was about the rename or the way
Yeah, the
the
profile name
yeah.
change, how it works now, and there is a couple of pull requests in there to improve the situation.
So it's broken on the current release, or it's gonna break if we release only one update to it.
Uh, Good point. I don't know.
When you
I
say
don't know.
went back to 256,
Yeah,
well,
and
we don't
it's
even
not
use
that
this.
much the packages, but it's the actual Aurora boot because Aurora boot is the one that ships the bundle system D. So currently, depending on the Aurora version that you use, you could get one system D or the other, which is bad. So I talked with Mauro last week about if we may need to just recall all the latest tags and just have the 16.2, which is fixed, and put out like a notice saying, if you are using one of these tags, please just move to this if you are using UKI. Because we have no way of forcing, that one.
So this Aurora bot would make it work.
Yes.
So we have to check what Aurora bot the last release was built with.
Yeah.
And probably cut another release. I'm not sure we have enough time before we'll go on vacation for this one, but we can at least check if it's broken on the current one and let people know.
So those two changes are so we never have this again, right? So this fixes the actual behavior to not rely in that undocumented behavior for system D to make it work. So this is the way forward.
All right.
And we know that Aurora 16.2 has the fix. So we should either dump 16.0, 16.1, remove the tags, or just, I don't know, can you retag something to point to another tag? So maybe we should just point 16.1 and 16.0 to point to 16.2. So we know anybody pulling those are getting a fix.
Which versions are you referring to? 16
Aurora boot.
Aurora boot. Yeah, but that won't automatically fix. So if the current Kairos release is broken,
yeah.
Yeah,
That's something else that we have to check. On pull request, we have a test that tests this. So if the pump
so I'll keep it to the minimum. Let's just check and put a note. We'll fix it later. Hopefully it won't be broken. When did we actually?
No, it's not. It's not. I just check. No, I just check, and the latest pull requests are passing the boot assessment. So we noticed this because the boot assessment was broken. So at one point we just went back to a proper version of Aurora. And the next bump will probably just put it into another working one because it will just pick the latest. So yeah, I think we're safe with that. Oh yeah, Aurora boot 16.2. Yeah.
All right. It's the time. Okay, we're running out of time. Let's just have a quick look if there's anything important we missed. Template we discussed. How to quick start we discussed. Extended system upgrader we discussed. An improvement we discussed last week. These we have already discussed last week, and there wasn't something super urgent. Okay, so let's just focus on what's on the board now, and make sure we leave things in a good state before we'll go on vacation. So we better not ship another release and confuse people with broken things that won't fix for 2 weeks. Okay. Wednesday afternoon we release. Okay, good point. There's no better opportunity to break things like that.
I'll fix it next year.
Exactly. Okay, I'll stop sharing. I think the recording is going to be uploaded automatically, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll try to fix my camera for next time because this will be like a podcast this time, an audiobook or something.
All right. So before dropping, can you enable the camera to see if it also kernel panics?
I was hoping to upgrade my kernel before I did that, but since you asked for it, I'm going to enable that. So I'm saying goodbye already. Okay, I'm enabling my video now.
In case you go away, enjoy the holidays, man.
You do. See you.
Oh yes.
Am I there?
You're still here, but I can't see the camera. But At
I think
least
it's
it
trying
didn't
to
panic.
kernel. It tries to. It's not doing anything, and I can't even drop anymore. Whatever. Okay, man. See you.
All right. See you, man. Bye bye.
Bye.